The card list for GD03, Gundam's next set, is now out. My buddy Ben and I break down the best cards from this set and how they'll impact the game. What's up, guys? It's Garrett with Talking Cards, and I got my buddy Ben here. It's been a minute since Ben's been back on. It was highly requested, especially by those worst generation folks.
Oh, Diego.
Yeah. But we're back today talking about GD03. I'm going to start this off by this. I don't know that GD03 answers all of our prayers.
I agree.
But I want to say this with a caveat. I actually really like this set.
It looks really cool. I'm really excited to build that.
Yeah.
I think I wasn't as excited to build GD02.
Correct.
I'm much more excited to build GD03 because I think the archetypes are stronger. The callbacks to the other older archetypes are stronger now that we're getting more and more support. So I think there's just a lot of like really cool things from the set and maybe make things tier 1, tier 1.5. But I don't know if it will really...
We're looking at you, Purple.
I hope so, man. Purple has a lot of cool cards, but like, I just don't know if it's going to be as good as 1 Year War.
Yeah.
Can it beat 1 Year War? Can it beat Blue White Epion? Can it beat Green White Wing? Like,
and that's what we're about to discuss.
Yeah.
So speaking of callbacks, speaking of things referring back to, you know, the previous sets, let's talk about Blue.
Okay.
Because Blue has a bunch of cards that pretty much do just that.
Yes.
All right, guys. So like I said, we're going to start with Blue. And of course, everyone's favorite pilot, Amuro, got a new Link unit. And it's not bad.
Yes, I think that's the biggest thing, right? The card is actually very playable.
Yeah. So we have Gundam NT1, which is an Amuro Link, which essentially has a repair, and it can ping when pair. And if with that ping, you destroy a unit, well, you get to draw a card because why not?
Exactly. I think the best thing, like, it's a level 5, cost 4, right?
Yeah.
Stats are 4/4.
Pretty good stats.
Pretty good stat line. But I think overall this card's not bad. Like I think if I was like rated as 3 to 4. Like I don't think it's an amazing broken card. It'll find its way into some of the decks. Definitely cool to play with.
Definitely like a nice 2 of though in purple blue.
Yes.
Or something like that.
I think
even a 1 of it'd be a spicy 1 of. It's another pinger.
Correct.
Amuro Link.
Yep.
That's all it needs.
Yeah, it would be cool like maybe this like red blue ping deck that's like they're trying to like make very archetype heavy versus purple blue actually would be a good spot, but I don't know if it'll compete for the level 5 spot. But again, a really fun card.
Another card I really like is a Healthy Curiosity, which really is just a hand trip. It allows you to draw a card, but it's a level 3 cost 1. So like there's so many times early in the game, let's say I have 3 resources, right? So the fact that I could play a Rezel and draw a card, or like play a Liverith and blue-white and draw a card, it's like, that's so big in the early game because those decks, if anything, the harder part is figuring out your early game. It's always easy to get to the end game with those decks and figure that out because your card economy is usually better than everyone else's. So I like that card. It has a secondary effect where if you already have, I believe, 2 in the trash, when you play your 3rd one, you actually get to rest a level 4 or under unit, but I don't see that coming up. Maybe it's, I mean, that's just a kind of secondary.
Yeah, I think my biggest issue with this card has no burst.
It has no burst.
It's very similar to OA, but except you're seeing 1 less with a cycle, 1 more level higher. But again, I agree with you. I just don't know. It'll be played for sure and definitely be tried because like why not? Just anything it's like a 4 less cards in your deck.
Yep.
Is way to see. It's kind of like an upstart goblin is how I like to call it when I think of like old Yu-Gi-Oh days.
Sure.
You're just playing less cards.
And that's really what it is. You're just really trying to minimize some things in the early game.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Exactly. And then like for me, another card I thought really stuck out to me for blue, again, not even an LR, is it's Palace Athena. I have no idea what this is from. It's just a giant green monster from like it's Titans.
Oh, that's from Zeta Gundam.
Okay, yeah, I think
Gundam Zeta is
perfect. Yeah, I just know it's a pretty good stat. It's like level 5, cost 3. When you play it, you can banish 2 or exile 2 Titan cards from your trash, and then rest an enemy unit that is level 4 or lower, which I think gives a lot of power early game, especially for a 5 cost, like a level 5 cost 3 unit. And it does link with Requiem, and I think I'm pretty high on Requiem as a command pilot, because she can tap down up to 2 things.
Yeah,
I think it's really cool.
Which is super strong.
Yeah, it reminds me of like a Hawk, but slightly different.
And we're also seeing the 5 attack stat line for a, how do I say, cheaper cost.
Correct.
We're seeing these level 5 cost 3s with 5 attack power. We saw it in the starter decks in both 7 and 8, and we're seeing it in the set. I think that's huge because that clears base and gets over blockers.
Yeah, and it can trade very well into some of the higher Earth units. So
and like they got their utility just by being played.
Exactly. This card already did everything it needed to do as soon as it was played.
So that does it for us for blue. I think we'll move on now to our next color. Let's talk about something that I think might have got the weakest support in green. So green, let's talk green for a second. I think green was really used this set to kind of flesh out some archetypes. We saw CB get additional support, which was needed since we just have ST07 for that one. So I think that's perfectly fine. And then we got a 2/2 clan unit.
Which is one thing we wanted from GD02.
Correct. And to me, that's already great. But I don't think there was anything that really leapt off the cardboard, if you will, for green. I know Ultron has some catchy words. I don't know if it replaces Wing Zero, though.
No.
So I think it could see play.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a different deck or a different build, right? It won't be the standard green-white deck that we see currently, like being very rampant. But again, there could be, because we're already playing Wu-Fei, right? We talked about it literally 5 minutes ago that Wu-Fei is in the deck. Why not just play with this?
Yep.
So,
and I think that's totally a reasonable call. Maybe a 1/2 of even.
Exactly. But like the cool.
And then maybe you're running Searcher.
Honestly,
like, I don't know.
You could be. I mean, the Searcher's really good. But I think one of the coolest things in this set, though, with green is like literally the first green card you see is Camper, and it has burst. So you have the first unit with burst. There's a couple other units that have burst in the set, but I don't think it's an amazing card by itself.
Yeah, and I don't either. It could be good as the archetype itself grows, but I think just like you say, like the set introduced some new mechanics, if you will, or some new things you can do within the game that helps evolve it and push it forward, even if that card itself doesn't push it forward.
Exactly. Right. You talked about it with blue with a healthy opportunity, right? That lets you have other cards of it in there. That's a cycle for other cards in the set. They burst on units. So it shows Bandai's willing and opening to try and create new mechanics without creating a new keyword.
Correct. And I don't think I have really any other green cards that I feel like I need to mention, but I will say I do think Peace Million, the base for the wing archetype, is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's a 6 HP base, which already helps what that deck's trying to do, getting to the end game. It does come out late is the only bad thing, but it can still burst. I mean, to be honest.
It's good game. It's a good base. I'm here for it. Like it is like what, level 6, right?
Right. And maybe that even gives you more reason to go back to kind of playing Bird even. And we see that come back in. I was going to play 2 in Mexico, but it seems like standard right now, if you are playing Bird, is 2. Like maybe that comes 3 again. Maybe that's 4. I don't know.
I mean, that card might also see much more play in like the NT aged Nekasuna family, right? I didn't really play a lot of GO2, so I apologize in advance. The one that generates the other ramp deck, right?
Yeah.
Because that one kind of creates more EX resources more naturally.
It does.
So that could be a benefit in that deck.
Yep. So I think that's it for green for me. Did you have anything green you wanted to say?
No.
Speaking of Suna family, I mean, you did like that one card.
The LR, right? It was at the age 2. Yeah. I think the LR like that does with a new pilot Asima.
Yeah.
I think it's very, very strong. It creates when you link, which is honestly the point of the deck, is you create an EX resource, and then it kind of like creates a blocker, right? They can't attack. They have to choose this as the rested unit first. So it's I think like Marauding Captain Walk from Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot of my old things is where you're limiting your opponent's choices. And if this can happen earlier, this card's a level 5 though, so it is a little bit later. But if you're able to ramp, create an EX resource turn 2, turn 3, then play it before, like if aggro is still prevalent, this could be slowly phasing out that.
Yeah, and it could be a thing too where we see like with Gundam Freedom doing, well, that's a teaser for later, but Gundam Freedom has a similar ability in this set. So I think that's a good place to actually maybe just go into white, speaking of Gundam Freedom, because I think that's a card that was once introduced was very much the talk of the town. Like how do we
out freedom?
How do we out freedom? Like that's now a conversation that needs to be had. But now some people I've seen in rankings are down on the card. So it's interesting that's had this.
I think freedom's awesome.
I think it's awesome too. So let's just jump into white. Now some people might see white and instantly see the Freedom Gundam that we've talked about and think like it's a floodgate-like type of card because it's like it demands to be outed because it's stopping me from interacting with one phase of the game, which is attacking shields. And white also has cards like Unforeseen. It has blockers. So really you can just kind of protect this one guy as long as you can and try that as a strategy while you have all your shields or possibly however many you want to stop at. And now we're also, a fear I've seen online is like, well, what if they get the Freedom Gundam out, they're up on shields, and then they just keep it alive till the end of time? And it's like, well, they could do that if they wanted to.
Yeah, like the first thing I thought was like, oh, well, this isn't really locked. If I just play this in green and white ramp, I can probably play this on turn 4. And they have to, this card, even if they can't attack shields for 2 turns, they spent way too much time attacking this unit, right?
Yeah, or traded with it, right?
Exactly. Oh, well, this card's gonna trade, right? So what, 4/4, 4/5?
4/5.
Right, it's gonna get 2 to 3 units probably for it if it's you're playing against like 1 year war, which is the first, like every time I look at a card, I'm like, okay, can this archetype, can this deck beat 1 year war? Right?
Sure.
this card can do it pretty easily, I think. But it's just like
if you can survive to that point,
yeah,
big time.
yeah, it just needs a way to like automatically rest outside of just like linking.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, because it has to be rested to get the effect, of course. And I think that like maybe the one turn to get there could be too late.
Correct. Yeah, that's the only reason I was thinking like maybe in a green white ramp blitz or something, or if you just have a way that you can just rest a unit.
Yeah, which could come in future. That's
correct.
A common Bandai trope, I feel like, and card game trope.
Yeah, just card game things in general. But yeah, like, I don't know, a card for me that like I'm pretty high on, even though like every other rating like really hates it, is like, what's it called? The Graham's Union Flag custom.
Yeah.
I really like that. There's a level 4 unit that's just a states high maneuver. The stats are shit. It's a 4-2, just not good, right? Dies
Close
like
combat,
kills it, right? I do like the pilot though, where like the whole trope of this one is like, during link, like, the unit you'll set itself as active as long as the thing. Then when it's set as active with the pilot, like you can bounce something. So I think it's like reasonable, right? It's like kind of reminds me of like, oh, like Hawk plus like Sword Strike. Might not be as good as that, but it might be better. I don't know. I hate Sword Strike as a card.
You always have.
I always have.
You always have.
I never played it.
Yeah, it got to a point where just the meta demanded it, honestly. So it
I play this over it.
Is what it is.
Because I can do both things. I can bounce their creature and deal damage guaranteed and protect my unit.
In a vacuum, sure, but like because Sword links with Kira, it's like, I'm already running for Kira.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm just saying this is a different deck.
For sure, for sure. And that's what I mean, like in a vacuum. Like, I think this is the big thing, and a big thing to talk about as we're going through this, and we're halfway through this set, just about to be, because there's really not much more to talk about with white.
Yeah.
But like, there's a lot of cards that do a lot of cool things that are just different decks.
Yes.
Like maybe the way we think about them just needs to change from a perspective of, oh, but this isn't better than Kira Strike and Perfect Strike because, you know, it's a link, or Sword Strike because it's a link, but this is also doing its cool own thing.
Yeah, like, and is the cool thing good enough, right? Because we're very stuck in this way, like, oh, we know what's good, so we kind of just continuously play them. There's some adventurous things, like you have like the red-blue deck and the red-white decks, and End of GD02 do pretty well, but like everyone still comes back to, when you look at like nationals, or sorry, regional championships, it's all the same big three. Right. So maybe no one's willing to explore, but I hope that GD03 gives us like these smaller things to explore with, right?
Yeah, and I think it does, and I think we're gonna see some people try to cook for our nats. I really do.
Yeah, I really think, like, I don't know, as we look into, as we go into like purple, I think we'll see a little bit more.
And I'll just use that as a segue. Let's talk about purple, because I think it got maybe the biggest boost.
I think it has a lot of cool interactions and a lot of small things that can make it really good.
Yeah. So let's talk about them. Barbados is really good already. It's a level 3 when it comes out. Cost 2. 3/2.
Yep.
With Mikazuki, it's a real problem. You get to draw a card. It's a 5/3.
Yep.
And you're gonna ping.
Yes.
So, and you get to draw a card to replace it. So now we kind of just evolved from there.
Correct.
Because within that archetype, we're already pinging a lot. And then we got Gundam Barbados Adapt, which allows you to pretty much replace Anksha with it.
Yes.
It's a level 4, cost 2, same as Anksha, but a better stat line, I argue, because it's a 2/4.
Yeah, 4 is
survives wing 0 without a pilot.
Yeah, the only issue is you can't ping it if you want that, but at least you have the early game ping, and you can't just ping it once and then die to close combat.
But unlike Anksha, you can ping anything.
Correct, that is true.
So it's also infinitely better already.
It's just such a versatile card, and exactly what the deck wanted to do, right?
Yes, and kind of what I would argue the deck needed a little boost in. Sometimes, like, you do feel the limit sometimes of an Anksha or something like that.
Yeah, like
in a 3/3 stat line, like, there are times where in the wing 0 matchup, you kind of just had to force a body and make them play something. But like, forcing a 3/3 body really sucks compared to the 2/4, because I would rather them play the wing 0.
Correct.
And like, know that I have a unit to swing on the crackback. And it's like, the Anksha kind of limited you at times.
Yes.
So
it was a really good card, but this 2/4 stat line is so strong. That's why Lifrith was so good.
Yep. And that's not the only Barbados line we got.
No, we have Lupus, right?
And do you want to tell us what that does?
Dude, this card is a unit. It's a level 7, cost 6, activate main not once per turn. So as many times as you want to.
As many times as you can perform the action.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So you can choose 3 of your Tekkaden or Tawaz units, probably pronounced those wrong, unit cards from your trash, exile them, and then choose one enemy unit and deal 2 damage to it.
Yeah, and it's good because you don't even have to rest it. Like, you can just leave this guy standing up, and you don't have to do anything. And you could try to recur this effect as many times as you can throughout a game. And now we've gotten to a point where so many units in this archetype and so many cards allow you to discard. Even bases allow you to discard.
There's a lot of cycle, right?
A lot of cycle, and also this deck can lean towards an aggro slant to where they're already having to deal with your board. So it's like at a certain point, you're naturally getting some units in your discard pile.
Correct, right? And then like this doesn't require anything. It doesn't need a pilot. It doesn't need anything. It's similar to Wing Zero where you play the card, it does the thing. This card, you play the card, then you get to choose how you want to do the thing, right? Sometimes Wing Zero plays felt really awkward because you're like, I don't really think this is the best board, but I need to play my 5/7 high maneuver creature. Regardless of destruction, regardless what it did, it needed to come on the board because it needed to be dealt with and it needed to have board presence. You can play this in pass. Probably not going to, but you could play this in pass. You can play this and pop like 1 creature pass, and next turn pop 2 creatures pass. And if this card lives and they can't out it at all on their turn, they have to keep it in mind of what you can really limit to do, right?
Sure. I mean, and this is even when like, I mean, some card game players are already like put on game, if you will, and they know that like you should kind of keep track of what's in your opponent's discard pile. But this is going to create a lot of good characteristics, I'll say, for players who are newer to the game or, you know, are playing card games for the first time just because they love Gundam.
Yeah.
It's like, it's going to make them aware of like how important it truly is to look at your opponent's discard pile just so you can learn ratios, especially if it becomes a best of 3 match and things like that. Like drawing out a game 1 is smart as long as you feel like you're in a winning position, just so you can learn how many of what is in certain decks, even stuff like that. Like that's a tried and true thing in card games. Like
in not giving your opponent information and getting as much information from your opponent.
Correct. And like with the meta so defined as it was before, it's like knowing that, oh, they've already played 2 Amuros, they only have 2 left in deck is key.
It's huge.
A key thing.
Yeah.
So with that being said, is there any other purple cards for you, Ben?
I again didn't play a lot of GD02, but this card Zedra. Yeah, I'm going to pronounce it wrong. One of those is hopefully correct. Level 6 costs 5, has a base high maneuver. I still think it's the best keyword in the game.
High maneuver?
By far. Statted as a 4/5. And then when paired with just a, was it Z Founder, X Founder?
X Rounder.
X Rounder.
Yeah, it's hard because the samples is right on the middle, so I can't read.
Yeah, so you can choose 4 of the archetype cards from your trash, exile them. Again, that's the big mechanic.
Yep.
And then choose an enemy unit's level 4 lower and destroy it.
Yeah.
That just has infinite possibilities.
Yep.
Very strong. You're probably gonna be able to do that. You can do it once one played. But a big thing about this to me is like, I feel that this mechanics can grow, and if we ever get level reduction, which we literally just talked about, it's like, is this something that we would want in the game or not want in the game? Anything that's going to give you immediate like card destruction based on level, you can just get super, super strong.
Yeah. I like that card, and then I think my last purple one is Gundam Exia. I think the fact that, you know, as long as you're, you know, taking out a shield or a base, you get to destroy the lowest level unit on board, on your opponent's board, which if they have like think about where red-white ended up last format. It's like Sinanju, Kshatriya. I mean,
you're gonna do better than the card we just talked about Zadra, right? You're that card. Literally, you're gonna kill level 6.
Yeah, like it's right. It's crazy.
And if it's the only card you know they have on the board, it doesn't matter what level it is. I think that's like the best thing about the card. It's hard to play around.
And suppression's good. I mean, suppression's still
like one of the coolest keywords.
Yeah, I still don't think we've seen it really impact the game the way I think we all anticipated maybe. I know some people were a little high on it. Just playing other Bandai games, it's really a make or break mechanic in other games. Like in Fusion World, it's the most broken.
In Dragon Ball Double Strike is amazing.
Masters Fusion World, I mean. But in One Piece, it's always been meh.
It's cool if it happens, but getting your opponent 2 cards is always tough in that game. So it goes
and in this game, when you see a burst, it's like backbreaking, and you're like, oh, I just gave them Amuro, great, and a base. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think all the suppression stuff that we've seen so far is maybe purple wasn't as strong last set, and maybe we'll see more with this set. And then if there's lower cost of suppression stuff.
Sure. And we'll just see kind of how that evolves. Like, because if we ever get like a Rezel unit, but now it's a level 4 cost 2, and it has suppression, that's game changing.
That's game changing because I can play that on my turn too.
Yeah. Yep. So that'll take us into our final color, which is, I think, the debate of which one got the strongest boost, either purple or red. And it's one of these 2 colors.
I think red's really cool. I'm really excited again, more clan stuff.
So let's talk about red. I think we'll just kind of piggyback off of what Ben said, the clan stuff, and we got G-Fred, which is, first off, Hope I enunciated that right. I did watch Clam. Please don't flame me. I'm actually just invested in what I'm watching, and I mean, it's all in Japanese, so I don't, it's just going out. I'm reading everything. Like, I don't know how to explain that.
Literally, it's G then Fred, so I don't know if it's not G Fred or Fred. Or
I don't know.
Or you think it's silent G?
Maybe. Anyways, both versions of this card I think are really good.
Yes.
The level 6 and the level 4 for different reasons. I'll start with the littler one and go up, if you will. So the littler one is a level 4, cost 2 with burst.
Nuts.
It's a 4/2 unit, and it has burst, Ben.
It's really good.
And that burst creates a token. If you have done, I think if you have 3 or less shields.
Yeah.
So that means even if they have a base and 3 shields, it still pops off.
Yeah, I believe it's 3 or less shields, not 3 or less cards in the shield area. But regardless,
I think it works just like for Sago, where like if they have the base,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Do you have it up? Let's actually read.
Yeah, it's 3 or less enemy shields, so perfect, just like you said.
Yep.
So it's cool. It's a burst. It's contingent. Again, burst on a unit, something that we already want. This card's already gonna be played as like most likely a 3 to 4 of in any clan list.
Yeah, and because like it already links. So it's like with what your bigger unit's gonna link with, so it just kind of works.
It's a feels good card.
Yeah.
There's nothing bad about this card. Like you could slam for it and not feel bad about it at all.
I guess the worst thing is it dies to close combat, but like, who cares?
Yeah.
It has burst,
no.
and you kind of got the close combat out of their hand at that point.
Exactly. This card's almost better than burst, so I can give it a 3 health life.
And you could argue it's equal cost.
Correct.
I paid 2, you paid 2, like.
We're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And but mine has link, and then if it does come out of life, though, like I think again, burst on a unit is just so strong.
I agree, and I think that's why it's really cool to play with, and I really can't wait to. And then let's talk about the big G-Fred, and this card's insane because for 1 resource you can tap it, and you can exile 1 pilot in your trash, and deal 1 damage to all opposing units. No limits, no level locks, nothing.
Yep. Yeah, it's like, again, I think of like things like Dragon Ball has a keyword called limit, which is like once per turn, but across all copies of that card.
Sure.
This is like, that's like a very unique mechanic to that game. This doesn't have that, so if you have 2 copies of G-Fred out, you can just pay 2, deal 2 to everything, which I think is even more insane. You have all out attack, right?
All range attack.
All range attack, like that. You just did that for 2 mana.
Yep.
Like that's kind of insane.
And like all range attack is actually just 1. It only deals 1 damage to
This is even better.
But like you could stack that. Like you can now play all range attack. Like it makes cards like all range attack better than they were.
Yeah.
It makes Battle of Aces
super strong.
way better than it was. So I think this card's really good. And that's not its only effect.
No.
It can attack active units with the same level as it when linked. So it only gets to do this once.
Yeah.
But as we know, any way you can cheat game mechanics are usually broken.
Yeah.
So like what I mean by that is I can't attack an active unit, okay?
Yes.
But this allows me to do that. I am cheating the actual mechanic, the actual rules of the game, and I'm doing something that the game does not allow me to do due to this situation.
Yes.
And that's always a broken thing.
Yes.
So I'm big on it.
I mean, I think I'm just big on like anything clan related at this point. Even the Xeon tag.
Yeah, we got Red Gundam too.
Yeah, like Red Gundam is awesome. Again, this one's an actual clan tag, not just a straight Xeon tag. But it's all 4, costs 2 on play or deploy. You can choose another active friendly clan unit, rest it, and then choose one of your opponent's units with 2 or less AP and deal 2 damage to it. Again, nice ping for no reason. Well statted at 2/4, which is all we're really looking for. Links with any clan pilot.
Yep.
Which is insane. Again, very strong card.
And then it also has a FAQ already posted about it, just so people understand.
Yes.
And I talked with Emily about this, so I want to make sure I get it right. So I'm going to read this real quick for the point that I'm trying to make. When it says choose one other friendly clan unit and rest it, you have to do that. It's not like Mikazuki where like if they don't have a unit on board, you don't ping yourself because there's not a unit to ping.
Correct.
And it's because that it's where the sentence ends.
It's like
it says rest it, period.
Yeah, it's like 2 different sentences.
Correct.
Right? Like, yeah.
It's technically 3 because then the 3rd sentence is the if you do choose one enemy unit with 2 or less AP, deal 2 damage.
It's 3 separate effects.
Yeah.
You choose, if you choose, you rested, and if you then rested, do the other thing. And they're all like the last part is like matters with the other part, but you would go until it happens.
Correct. So I just want to put that out there for people as they're playing with the new set and they're like, oh, I don't think this card's working right, or the inverse. It's maybe you're getting to do way too much to do should with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just know that.
Yeah.
So
I just wish it could choose itself. That's my only.
Choose itself,
I wish I
yeah.
could have skewed it itself.
yeah, it does say other units, so
Yeah.
I think it's fine, but yeah, it would have a little more utility probably because of that stat line too of the 2/4. If it could choose itself, it's like, that's a beefy guy out
Correct.
there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Any other red cards for you, Ben?
Not-
I think there's one big one.
You're talking about which one?
Providence.
Could you go? I don't have that up.
Providence Gundam is a level 7, I believe, unit. And what it does is on attack, it will boost all Zaft units by 2+ AP. And then for each attack power that it has, it gets to deal 1 for every 4 attack power.
I remember this card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember reading this card. Again, I didn't play a lot with set 2, so I don't know the power of support and Zaft, but I know it performed very well towards the end of the GD02 meta. So I guess my question would be to you, do you think this makes the deck that much better or that much stronger? Because it's always in a game.
Let me see this real quick because I want to make sure I said that. So it's during pair with the Zaft pilot. During your turn, all your Zaft units get that. So it's a reoccurring effect.
And it's always going to get...
It's every turn during your turn.
Yeah, and the first time you equip it, right, with the pilot, this is doing minimum 2 damage. Right?
Yeah.
Minimum 2. So I think that's strong. I just don't know how much more you're going to get past the 2. Because you're putting a lot of investment on a level 7 that some of the earlier cards that, like, I think of Merida and, like,
But
Ping.
I think the fact that the attack, it's on attack, you deal to 1, makes it really good because you're always going to ping.
That's fair.
Every time you attack. Like, why is Kshatriya so good? It has to be dealt with instantly.
Correct.
Because it can always ping.
I guess my question for you is, like, when I read this card originally, now it's all coming back to me. I thought, like, oh, I think Merida Kshatriya is just better, but because I haven't played Zaft.
So I'll tell you this guy can pop off actually. There's a new base in this set, since we haven't talked much about bases, that when you play it, pick one of your Zaft units, plus it by 3.
Okay, so as long as this can get to a breakpoint of 9, let's say base before you play the base,
Yeah.
then it pops off, right? Then you're dealing at least 3 damage.
And then there's a bunch of support Zaft stuff. Like I've seen this guy get as high in my simming, a whopping attack power of 17.
17, so you're on attack dealt 4. So you kill the unit, then you killed another unit.
Yep.
But I think the card is very powerful and reads very well.
Yeah, and I do think it's a card that I want to see kind of grow.
Yeah.
Like we mentioned earlier in this video that there are cards that are meant to impact immediately, and then there's cards that are meant to, like a lot of GD02, kind of be things that are like seeds being planted and it's gonna grow.
Yep.
And I think this might be a grower, and it could be really fun to see.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So lastly, I want to do a few honorable mentions and then we'll wrap up this video.
Sounds good.
One of my honorable mentions, I think, is Unicorn, because we got another Unicorn mode. So I think this is really cool. The card's nothing insane except for the fact that on turn 5, you can technically play a 7/6 with Benager, which is actually really cool.
It's insane.
However, it doesn't have any effects outside of being another thing for the destroy mode combo.
Yeah.
And I think that's good enough.
I think that's all the deck needed was more consistency, right?
Yeah.
You kind of ran out of stuff to link with, and if this at least links with it, you'll still get the Banniger draw.
You still get the Banniger draw. You, of course, don't get the pilot back to hand effect that was specific to the Unicorn in GD01. However, it's still good, I think. And then I know you were big on the one pilot.
I'm big on Requiem. It's a Requiem Shadow, also a command pilot. In general, level 3 costs 1. Stats are +1/+0. It's a Jupiterus and Titans trait, which is cool. And then main action. So action's big. Choose one enemy unit with 3 less HP. Rest it. But if you have a Jupiterus Link unit in play, you can choose up to 2 units, which I think we wanted to see. There's always a fringe card similar to that we've seen in the past. I like that it's on a command pilot of something they're trying to really push for the set, which is like this Titans Jupiterus stuff.
Yep.
And I definitely think that deck might have some legs, so the tier 2, tier 1.5, maybe creep into a top cut. So I think this card is like a key piece of that in my head.
And we've seen good command pilot.
Yeah, exactly. Think of Hawk, right?
Yep.
Hawk's nuts. Hawk was one of the best cards ever printed. Again, we
Yeah,
thought it was
we were really big fans.
We
In
thought
beta?
in beta, we thought it was like the best card in the set. Like, screw Rezel, screw Zaku.
Yeah.
It was absolutely Hawk.
And we're showing some bias, some beta bias right now. But
I think cards like this have a lot of potential, especially when you're tapping 2 or less unit at such an early level of 3. Because if you're worried about getting to the late game, this can like literally shut out a whole turn.
Sure. No, you're totally right. I agree. I think it's a super interesting card. Another card I think is really interesting is Look of Determination.
Yes.
I think the fact that you get to Fatal Strike, if you will, a level 2, and then if you have 10 cards in your discard pile, you get to pick a active level 4. So it's either an active level 2 you're popping or an active level 4. It's a 2/2, so close combat stats, if you will. I think it's super interesting for when it can be played. It can be played as a 2-2 right on curve in the early game to destroy your early tempo, or it can be held for later even once you get to this 10 cards. And popping a level 4 is pretty good. I mean, I know we haven't seen as many cards. I know the one card we think of at level 4 is Gundam, because it kind of is the best play in the game on level 4. But you're talking Sword Strikes, you're talking that, you're talking, you know, Shards, Gelgoog if that comes back, you know, and there's just a lot you can do with that. Like, I like that the card's that versatile.
Yeah, I think that, like, again, this set just adds more decisions in your deck building. And I think this is going to be slowly turning more and more into a deck builders type of game.
Yeah.
You have a pile and you don't know how exactly it is because every card reads so good.
Which I would argue we haven't seen it in a Bandai game since probably Dragon Ball Masters, and we've seen it at a lot of points in Digimon, I'll say.
Yeah, like those games specifically aren't limited. For anyone who hasn't played Dragon Ball Super Masters or Digimon, you have no deck building constrictions. It's about playing the game, can limit what colors you can play.
Yeah.
So truly, doesn't really matter your archetype. A lot of cards are gated on their power level because your leader needs to be X, Y, Z, have this trait, have this specific power, has to do everything. That's how they gatekeep it. But in general, your deck can have every color of the rainbow.
Yep.
Which I think is awesome.
But I do like the deck building in this game. I do think GD03 does a lot of stuff for us to move us into that realm and move us further into a better deck building game.
I agree. I think this is going to open up the game a lot more. Again, more cards in the pool just creates better game in general.
Yeah, I agree. And I just want to say, Ben, thanks for doing this with me. I know the people have wanted you back on here, so I appreciate you breaking down GD03 with me. And come back soon, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, tell us where we're wrong. You guys never hesitate. Tell us how we mispronounced everything. You guys never hesitate. And I appreciate you guys watching, and see you next time.